everybody, welcome back to Red Devils TV. Now it's your Manchester United versus Crystal Palace match reaction. Now I know this video was late, but I was at work so I didn't get a chance to watch the game. Obviously it also wasn't on English TV as well, so obviously I had to wait for the footage to come out just so I could review the game and actually give you my opinion on the best bits that I saw. So yes, I didn't watch the full 90 minutes, but I've watched a good 20 minutes of footage now of build-up play, of how certain players played, obviously the Casemiro incident, which we'll get onto in a moment. But yeah, so I think I've got a good analysis in my mind of how the game went and how to review it. So, but yeah, before we get into the video, please remember to like, subscribe, comment and share. We're on the road to 600 subscribers, so please subscribe and get them numbers up to help out the channel. So yeah, I'm not going to waste your time anymore. Let's get right into the video. So, obviously, before the game even kicked off, we knew that Erik ten Hag was frustrated. And I love it when Erik ten Hag is frustrated because, for me, it shows that he wants redemption. And which I think is perfect because Ten Hag is unsatisfied. He wants to win every single game, and if his team loses, if his team draws, he wants to make sure that he wins the next time, which is brilliant because you want a manager like that. You want a manager who always wants to win, and I think that's starting to rub off on the players as well, because you see when the players draw or when the players start to go behind, not that their heads drop, but they become more focused, they become more determined, aggressive, like we're not going to let this lead slip. And I like the look of that because even though that Casemiro went off for a ridiculous sending off in my opinion, but I can see why at the same time. It's the Casemiro thing is a whole video in itself. It's just the disgrace of VAR, the disgrace of the actual refereeing decisions, etc. It's pointless because 1 week the VAR is just there to help the referees and it doesn't determine the referee's first decision. But then other weeks the VAR is the referee's final is the final verdict or something like that. It's ridiculous. But yeah, so as I was saying, so when Casemiro went off, United did very well to dig deep and keep the game as it was. So we got the 3 points, which was brilliant because even though it was a good 3 points, being 2-0 up yesterday, it was an amazing 3 points where we had to dig deep, we had to grind the game out, and if it wasn't for that defence, we probably would have lost that game. If we played that game last season and, I don't know, Scott McTominay or someone gets sent off, someone from our midfield gets sent off, the rest of the players' heads drop and we lose that game 100%. And this is what Erik ten Hag doesn't get enough credit for, because even though he gets credited for a lot of things, I personally feel like Erik ten Hag's personal his personal achievement that he's really earned is making this dressing room a collective, a unit, an actual team. And I just love what Erik ten Hag has done with this team, and I say that all the time on this channel. But yeah, so as I was saying with the video, so obviously Erik ten Hag wanted rejuvenation, he wanted revenge against Patrick Vieira for obviously us getting that draw against them at, what's their ground called? I don't know. But when we played away to Crystal Palace a few weeks ago, obviously we drew 1-1. Erik ten Hag knew we didn't play well in that game, and he said that in his pre-press conference for the match. So, you know, obviously he wanted to win. And we win, and winning we did, because even though we were 1-0 up, it was a good penalty by Bruno Fernandes. It reminded me of him back in 2020 when he was scoring penalties for fun in the COVID season. But yeah, he brought his little hop back. Obviously the keeper didn't know which way to go, and obviously Bruno slots it into the bottom left corner and it makes it 1-0. Obviously, the second goal was a beautiful crafted team goal. It was about 7 different players, all first touch football, bang, 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 bang. And Rashford, Garnacho passes it out wide to Shaw. Shaw with a beautiful low cross just passes it and Rashford just taps it in for an open goal. It was a brilliant goal and it was well crafted, and you can tell that's been worked on the training ground 100%. A lot like that corner when Eriksen found Bruno on the low corner and Rashford just smashed it in. That was a great corner, and I feel like that we're starting to work on tactics now. Like, even though Erik ten Hag has developed his philosophy for this Manchester United squad, I think that these certain tricks, these certain tactics to actually win games is what's actually helping us get better. Like these individual performances, like these triangle passes we're playing, where 3 players are surrounding the opposition, and we've always got space to find a pass. This is where the possession stats always going up in United's favour. And what Erik ten Hag's done, I just can't give him enough credit. Really, he's just been incredible. But yeah, let's talk more about the match. Excuse me. Jesus. Oh, God. But no, so obviously it's 2-0. United feel comfortable. United fans are like, oh, let's try and get 3, or we're gonna win this game. And then all of a sudden, the bastard for Crystal Palace, whoever it is, I think it's not Holgate, what's he called? Whatever his name is, just shoves Anthony for no reason. It was that was violent conduct. That was just unnecessary. He goes on the intention of hurting Anthony. Wasn't going for the ball whatsoever, and he shoves Anthony pretty much off the pitch and into, not the dugout, but obviously because obviously at Old Trafford's pitch is like a little ramp, and he literally goes flying off the pitch, and he could have hit his head off one of the advertising boards. So that could have gone really bad for Anthony. But obviously Anthony reacts. The whole stadium erupts. I could say each and every player of the opposition and Manchester United got into a massive brawl, and realistically it ended up like fading out, and it started to be broken up and stuff. But then the idiots and incompetent officials in VAR decided, oh, let's go digging, there's something gone wrong here. Casemiro has got Hughes around the neck, and it's one of them, because yes, even though Casemiro wasn't being malicious, he wasn't like full on Homer Simpson strangling Hughes like he does with Bart Simpson. But at the end of the day, you can tell Casemiro is trying to break up try to calm Mark Hughes down, and he's trying to calm everything down, but he shouldn't have his hands around his neck. And it's just ridiculous, really. Casemiro, obviously, it was a bad judgment call, and thankfully, it's a bad situation that we're put in now, because now we've got Casemiro. We've not got Casemiro for the next 3 games, but our next 3 games are Leeds twice and Leicester. So realistically, it is bad, but it could have been worse. Hopefully, I don't think United are going to appeal it, and if we do, I don't think it'll be overturned anyway, because VAR normally don't overturn referees' decisions, because I feel like that they probably feel like they have to work together, and if the referee stands by a decision, then VAR will not overturn it after the game's finished. Obviously, VAR's there to help referees during the game, but with a massive incident like that, that's the issue with VAR, with a massive brawl like that, because like with the NFL, for example, if a massive brawl was to happen like that, the game can get stopped for about 5 to 10 minutes to have an actual look into what's happened, who should be sent off, who should be disciplined, etc. But what happens within 30 seconds to a minute, they found a Casemiro footage and they had to send him off. That's what happens. But there's been many pictures all over social media about how Ayew should have got sent off for literally punching Fred, which again, I feel like people were digging into it way too much. What should have happened is that Anthony and the player who got fouled by should have both received a yellow card, and the game should continue. That's just my opinion, because realistically, it wasn't like Casemiro, like I said, was being violent or anything like that. But the violent conduct rule, he's got a 3-match ban now, so he is going to be missed. How will United deal with that over the next 3 games? I'm not too sure. Hopefully Sabitzer, this is probably Sabitzer's time to shine, who I need to speak about as well. Obviously he had a decent debut, he had a decent 30-minute cameo, and yeah, from what I saw of Sabitzer, he looked good. He looked quite promising, and this is why I quite rated Sabitzer. This is why I'm happy with the signing, because I feel like he likes to get stuck in the tackle. He's very good at possession-wise. He likes to have a shot on him. He's the perfect box-to-box midfielder, in my opinion. Obviously, there are better midfielders out there of his class, but he ticks all the boxes for a standard great box-to-box midfielder. And once Casemiro's back, I'm pretty sure that Fred will be dropped for Sabitzer, because Sabitzer for me is just levels above Fred, and I personally do rate him more than Eriksen, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, what else we talk about? Obviously, Marcus Rashford scores again. Obviously, I've already pretty much developed how that goal went about. It was very good one-touch football. Obviously, Garnacho comes on and makes a difference. That's what Garnacho seems to do at the moment, and this is going to be great about Erik ten Hag. And I'm going to get on to Erik ten Hag about the Garnacho situation in a moment, because obviously Garnacho was brought on as a substitution, then had to come back off due to us going down to 10 men. So yeah, I feel like that Garnacho is hungry. He wants to be playing football, and Erik ten Hag's going to like that. But you could tell that when Garnacho went off yesterday after being brought on, he was very disappointed. But I think Erik ten Hag's is going to be happy by that, because he likes to see that reaction of Garnacho, due to the fact that Garnacho's come on, he's all excited, but then he's down in the slumps because he's like, for God's sake, I have to come back off now. So Erik ten Hag will be like, look, you're playing great. You were brought off not due to your performance, because you were playing great, but the fact is that tactically we have to obviously work as a team. We have to get these 3 points. You're a future here at Manchester United, and to build on this future, we need these 3 points for today. So obviously you'll be playing again very soon. Don't get too worried about it now. You're still going to play. But at the end of the day, if I want you to be playing Champions League football next season, I want us to be competing at the highest level, and I want you to be a part of that. But realistically, right now, we've got to get them 3 points, and I had to sacrifice your position because we need an extra man in defence. And I feel like Garnacho then can walk out Erik ten Hag's office all happy and smiley, because he's like, the gaffer believes in me. I understand that Ten Hag obviously believes in me, and I've got a future at Manchester United. Obviously, there's talk that Garnacho's almost finished signing his new contract, so hopefully that happens soon. It's pretty much a guarantee that it's going to happen. I think it's just a few wage issues, but yeah, apart from all that, I feel like that is going to be a good future for Garnacho at Manchester United, and with a manager like Erik ten Hag, I'm pretty sure that we won't have him being massively egotistical. He's going to be a massive ego player. I think he's going to be humbled. I think he's going to get dropped when needed, because that's what Erik ten Hag is perfect at. He doesn't like players with big egos, and he's going to keep players humbled, and that's why Erik ten Hag is the perfect manager for Manchester United. But yeah, 2-1 victory. It was a good game, good result. Obviously, it was a lot harder than it needed to be as it came to the end of the match. But for me, I felt like United scraped the win, and now on to Leeds. I'm trying to think which one's which now. I don't know if we play them first or we go away first. I think we're at home to Leeds first. I think that's right. And then it's Ellen Road, the next fixture next week. So obviously we've got, is it we're playing back to back? I'm not too sure. I'll have to think about it. But anyway, yeah, obviously we've got Leeds next at some point, whether that's at Old Trafford or Ellen Road. So the preview will be coming out for tomorrow for that. So yeah, thank you for watching today's video. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment and share, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.